Honestly, I think you're just overdue, you know what I mean? Ashley said with a sly grin, propping her chin on her hand. They were tucked away in a corner booth at a cozy Starbucks in downtown Chicago, the air thick with the scent of roasted beans and the low hum of city chatter. And where exactly am I supposed to find the time? Natalie sighed, absent-mindedly swirling a wooden stir in her oat milk latte. Her eyes drifted toward the window, watching the pedestrians rush past on Michigan Avenue. With this new job of his, he's basically a ghost. When he's home, all he does is crash and burn. Doesn't that strike you as a little sketchy? Ashley tilted her head, her sharp eyes scanning her friend's face for a reaction. Is it sketchy that he's exhausted from work? Natalie looked up, genuinely confused. No, it's sketchy that he isn't making a move on you. Okay, what are you trying to say exactly? I'm not trying to say anything, I'm saying it straight up. He's definitely getting it somewhere else. Where is it he's working now? O'Hare International. Bingo. Ashley slapped the table, making the plastic lids rattle. Natalie flinched. Think about it. Think of all the flight attendants and travelers passing through there every hour. He's definitely found a place to park his jet, if you catch my drift. Don't be ridiculous, Ash. I'm not being ridiculous, I'm being real. Men are like strays. They'll wander if they get the chance, especially when you put them in a place like an airport where temptation is literally everywhere. Okay, fine. Let's just say for a second that you're right, Natalie said, her voice dropping an octave, laced with uncertainty. Let's say my husband actually is cheating. What am I supposed to do about it? Oh, strip down and do a lap. Ashley cracked a tired old joke, but a flash of irony danced in her eyes. No, I'm being serious, Ash. So am I. You want to know why Steve and I are so perfect together? Why we're couple goals? Why? Natalie asked, leaning in. Because both of us have something going on the side. Hot, passionate flings, the kind of stuff you just don't get in a boring suburban marriage. Are you for real? And you both know about it? Yeah. I mean, we'd tried to hide it at first. Then I caught him sliding into some girl's DMs. Then his best friend saw me out with another guy. We almost called the lawyers, but then we sat down and actually talked. We're adults, Nat. We have the house in the suburbs, the kids, the 401k. Everything is set. Why blow it all up if we're actually happy? We decided it's easier to live like this than to burn down everything we've built for years. God, you guys are wild. Natalie shook her head in disbelief. No, I couldn't do that. Jason, I think he'd literally lose it if he found out I was with someone else. It doesn't have to be an open thing like ours, Ashley winked. You could just try it once, a little one-night stand, a secret. He never has to find out. Easy for you to say. Natalie let out a bitter laugh. It takes two to tango, remember? Where am I supposed to find a guy for a fling? I don't even have anyone in mind. I'm a stay-at-home mom who's forgotten how to flirt. You are so hopelessly out of the loop, Ashley laughed, reaching across the table. Earth to Natalie! What do you think social media is for? There are apps now where guys sign up specifically for this. Casual hookups, no strings attached. You meet, you have your fun, and you say goodbye. Zero consequences. Are you serious? Dead serious. Give me your phone. Ashley held out her hand. I'm going to show you how easy it is to find some evening entertainment. You'll see that life still has some color left in it, even if your husband is too tired to notice. Ashley unceremoniously snatched the phone from her friend's hand, quickly swiping in the passcode, which she clearly already knew, and headed straight for the App Store. Her fingers danced across the screen with practiced speed. Here it is, the Holy Grail, Ashley said, pointing with a satisfied grin at an icon with a bright, flashy logo. This is exactly how I found my gym rat crush. Wait, really? That's how you found him? What did you think? We met at the public library or on the subway? You've got to get with the times, Nat. The world has moved on, but you're still living in the dark ages. While they talked, Ashley had already downloaded and installed the app on Natalie's phone. It popped up on the home screen, its sleek, intriguing interface practically glowing. And we're in, Ashley smiled triumphantly. Now let's get you a profile. No way, don't register me for anything. If Jason finds out, he'll kill me. Natalie recoiled as if the phone were on fire, her face turning pale. Jason isn't going to find out anything. Chill out, Ashley said, her voice dripping with confidence. We'll use an alias. Let's go with Ariel. How's that sound? Like the Little Mermaid? Exactly. Every 90s kid's first crush, Ashley winked. Now let's pick a pic. How about this one? She showed Natalie an image on the screen of a girl with a wild mane of red hair and sultry lips. I like it. She looks like a young Shakira, Natalie said, leaning in with genuine interest. That's because it is her. I picked it on purpose. Guys go crazy for redheads. It's a proven fact. Okay, now for the bio. I used this one and it worked like a charm. Looking for adventures and a spark. Not afraid to experiment, ready for something new. And done. Your profile is live, and you are now officially available for every guy looking to show you a night you'll never forget.
I don't know, Ash. Can I really do this? Natalie's voice wavered. Of course you can. Just don't overthink it. Let the guys do the heavy lifting. Anyway, I gotta run. I've got a million things to do. Plus, I'm meeting my gym rat in 20 minutes. Don't be a stranger. And with that, Ashley fluttered away, dropping a couple of $20 bills on the table for the coffee and croissants, leaving her friend in a state of sheer panic mixed with morbid curiosity. Natalie sat there for a while, scrolling through the features of this alien app. She realized this was a whole new world, dangerous, yet buzzing with possibilities she'd never imagined. Thinking that if it worked for Ashley, it might just work for her too, Natalie finally made up her mind. She stood up, grabbed her bag, and headed for the exit of the cafe, her heart hammering against her ribs with a mix of terror and pure, raw anticipation. When Natalie got home and tossed her phone onto the hallway console, she was shocked to see several notifications already popping up from the new app. Driven by a sudden burst of curiosity, she snatched the phone back and started reading. "Hey, gorgeous, new in town?" The first message read. The profile picture showed a guy who looked like a young Ben Affleck. He was wearing a sharp, tailored blazer, and there was a playful glint in his eyes. Natalie knew it was probably just a curated mask, another game, but she felt a sudden, desperate urge to flirt. It had been way too long since she'd felt that kind of spark. "Hey, just joined today, actually. How about you? Been here long?" Natalie typed back cautiously, trying to keep her thumbs from shaking. "Same here. I just logged on and there you were. Figured I'd take a shot and say hi." The reply came instantly. He kept the messages coming, one after another. Natalie replied, at first just to be polite, but soon she found herself genuinely hooked. The conversation flowed effortlessly, moving from one random topic to the next. It wasn't about anything specific, but for Natalie, it felt like a breath of fresh air after being suffocated for so long. She spent the entire evening and half the night lost in this digital flirtation. She didn't even remember falling asleep, but she bolted upright at the sound of the front door deadbolt clicking open. Jason was home from his shift. Heart racing, Natalie frantically swiped away the notifications and closed the app, terrified he might catch a glimpse of her secret life. After grabbing a quick, silent breakfast, her husband crashed onto the bed to sleep off the night shift. He looked absolutely drained, but Natalie found herself staring at him, wondering, was he really that exhausted from work, or was this all just a well-rehearsed act? Natalie went about her daily chores, but her eyes kept drifting back to her phone sitting on the kitchen island. She was checking for a sign from her mystery admirer. Apparently, he was busy at work because he didn't text all day. It stung a little, leaving her disappointed, but it also gave her a moment to process everything that had happened. Late in the afternoon, Jason finally stirred. He stretched, let out a long yawn, and rubbing the back of his neck, made an announcement. "Hey, Nat, I think I'm gonna head out and meet Andrew tonight. Just hit some bar, grab a few whiskeys, and unwind for a bit." Natalie didn't object. In fact, she was relieved. While her husband was getting ready for his guys' night out, she finally got the notification she had been waiting for all day. "Good evening, my mystery girl," her secret admirer wrote. "Hey, you were MIA all day." Natalie shot back instantly, a warm rush spreading through her chest. "Oh, so you missed me already. I like the sound of that," came the lightning-fast reply. "I won't lie, talking to you is getting a little addictive," Natalie typed, surprised by her own boldness. "I feel the same way, but honestly, I'm dying to see you in person. I want to actually touch you, feel how soft you are." "You're reading my mind. I've been dreaming about it too," Natalie smiled, already picturing the scene in her head. As the messages flew back and forth, they both reached the same conclusion. They had to meet. Natalie carefully checked her husband's schedule to make sure the meeting happened while Jason was on his next shift. Her admirer mentioned he'd book a room at a hotel downtown, which confirmed Natalie's suspicion. He was probably married too.
Whatever, who cares? Natalie thought. She knew she was crossing every moral line in the book, breaking every vow she'd ever made, but she couldn't bring herself to stop. This affair had taken on a life of its own, and the sheer adrenaline of it was something she wasn't ready to give up. The night of the meeting arrived. Natalie spent 2 hours getting ready, putting on a black silk dress she hadn't worn in years. Her heart was drumming a frantic rhythm against her ribs as she pulled up to the Hilton Garden Inn near the airport. This was it. No turning back. She took the elevator to the 14th floor, her hands trembling as she smoothed her hair. She reached room 1408. Taking a deep breath, she knocked softly. The door opened almost instantly. The room was dimly lit, the only light coming from a small bedside lamp. A man stood in the shadows, his silhouette tall and familiar. "Ariel?" he whispered, his voice raspy. Natalie stepped inside, her voice catching in her throat. "Ben?" The man stepped into the light, and Natalie's world came to a screeching halt. Her breath hitched, and she felt the blood drain from her face. Standing there, holding a bottle of expensive bourbon, wasn't a stranger who looked like Ben Affleck. It was Jason, her husband. Jason froze, the bottle nearly slipping from his hand. He wasn't wearing his airport uniform. He was in a crisp, white button-down shirt, the one Natalie had bought him for their last anniversary. "Nat?" Jason gasped, his eyes wide with a mix of horror and confusion. "What are you doing here? Who is Ariel?" Natalie looked at him, then at the phone in his hand, then back at his face. The realization hit her like a freight train. The new job at O'Hare, the exhaustion, the guys' nights, it was all a cover for his own loneliness. He had been looking for a spark too. They had been flirting with each other for days, hiding behind fake profiles and filtered photos, seeking from strangers exactly what they had stopped giving each other. For a long minute, the only sound in the room was the hum of the air conditioner. The irony was suffocating. They had both come here to cheat, only to end up on a date with their own spouse. Jason finally broke the silence, a bitter, sad smile touching his lips. I guess I'm not as tired as you thought I was." Natalie leaned against the doorframe, a shaky laugh escaping her lips. "And I guess I'm not as boring as you remembered." They stood in the middle of a rented hotel room, two strangers who had been married for 10 years, finally seeing each other for the first time in a long, long time.